Hello guys, this is Madhu from Adi Yogi Ayurveda. Welcome to my podcast. I am a certified Ayurveda lifestyle consultant, Vedic counselor, quantum healing hypnosis practitioner, clinical master herbalist, Usui Reiki practitioner, animal Reiki practitioner, and a spiritual coach. As a holistic practitioner, I concentrate on mind, body, and spirit healing, using energy healing, herbal remedies, and Vedic sciences. Come check out my website at adiyogiayurveda.com. I put the link down below in the description. And let's get started. Hello everyone, this is Madhu from Adi Yogi Ayurveda. Welcome to my podcast. Today I wanted to talk to you about dealing with narcissistic people and really releasing these emotions and processing these experiences that you've had as a child. So when you're a child, it's very difficult for you to understand why these things are happening, especially if it comes from your own parents. If one of your parents were narcissists, and if it comes from your immediate family, your family as in your parents, it's very difficult for you to process and bear, because in your mind, family is your safe place, home is your safe place. They're the people you look up to, who you learn from. They're the people who are supposed to give you love, protection. So when this happens, it's very difficult for a child to process it, because it feels wrong. But then they're thinking that they may be thinking wrong because your family would never do that to you. So that kind of conflict really brings out self-doubt. That is the root of self-doubt. And then when these narcissistic people call you names, put you down, anything that you do is wrong, you are not allowed to have your own personality. And this is coming from my own experience. And they're always telling you these things that are not true about yourself, that are so negative that you end up believing in them. But then you're like, no, I didn't even do that. Maybe she's seeing what I'm going to do in the future. And you end up doing all these things, and you get into addictions, and you have such low self-worth, and you have no confidence. And it's like when you go out into the real world, the society or school even, you just don't know how to assert yourself, because there's that conflict between your personality and the personality that they're trying to make you become, that that lower sense of self-worth, where you just feel like everyone else has their own place. They're like, they know who they are and you don't. So you're kind of in that corner, and you start becoming someone else, because you have to create this persona for yourself, and you end up being someone completely different from who you are. And then although you have this persona, you know it's not true, and you constantly try to find yourself, and it becomes this painful journey, and people become depressed. Like, I was depressed. I always thought, like, who am I? What is my personality? Because the narcissists, they strip you of your identity, of who you are, your values, your likes, your dislikes, who you are as a person. They strip that piece by piece, and you don't even realize it. So when you look back into your childhood, you will find certain experiences, certain incidents, situations that happen that will bring these painful memories to you. It will be painful to you when you think of it. So I think the best thing to do is to process them, and to process them, you have to really go through that situation. But what makes it better and easier is objective viewing. So in Ayurveda or in Vedic sciences, it's called taking the position of the witness. Like you're witnessing it, you're not part of that. It's kind of like watching it from an out of body perspective, where you see the child and you see the parent, but the child is not you, but you're just like the watcher, the viewer. So when you do that, it becomes easier to process, and when you're looking at it from a objective perspective, you'll see the side of the perpetrator or the narcissist and the victim. You will see both of their sides. You have to see it from both of their angles, and not because you want to make excuses for the narcissist, but to really understand where they're coming from. See, most of these narcissists come from abused backgrounds. They themselves have experienced that, and this is main thing about this is that this is passed on through the bloodlines. The trauma is passed on through the bloodlines, the families, the generations. This is something that goes way back. So each time they have this, they see the child, they see a part of themselves, and they just wanna. So when they see the child, they automatically get the flashbacks to their childhood. Oh, this is how I was treated by my mother, so I'm gonna do that to you. It's like I'm dumping my baggage on you, you know. So it's a passing down of trauma, and it's really up to you to break that pattern and to decide, like, okay, I'm not taking this anymore towards to my future children or the future generations. You can fix this. It's a problem at a DNA level. So it's called epigenetic transgenerational trauma, where you, like, literally the trauma that you experience gets encoded in your DNA. So you're already a little bit broken when you have your children, and they already have that, and so it's very easy to break them into that trauma cycle. So it's like that fracture by fracture by fracture, you create bigger damage, basically. And it's very sad. And I really thought I was the only one, but when I'm meeting with clients, almost like 99% of them have had narcissistic experiences, especially through their families as young children. And I'm talking about like majority of the light workers, or people who are like spiritually inclined. And of course anyone is welcome to be a client, and I know everyone have experienced this. Everyone has this this history where they have certain patterns that comes through their families. It's like a generational thing where what you learn from your parents, you kind of pass it down. It could be good things, it could be bad things, but what I'm talking about is processing these things. When you think back, when you just look at it from an outsider, third person's perspective, you can understand and see yourself, that child. Like, you can see like how a child would feel, because you're an adult now. You can really understand how easily a child could fall into that victim mode, like, oh, I'm not good enough, oh, maybe this parent is right, and then that will make it easier for you to process this thing, because a lot of times we have so much of unprocessed, suppressed emotions. These are the things that cause trouble within us. These are the things that makes us go seeking different avenues of finding happiness, but still leaving you with this unfulfilled feeling. You're never truly happy until you empty out the blocks, empty out these suppressed emotions, so you can allow newer and better experiences to come to you, because these things define your mental state, your mentality, your ideas, they have conditioned your mind to think that your reality is limited to that, whereas your reality is much bigger and better than this. And I am not talking out of textbooks, I am talking out of my own experience, and every single thing I have experienced and I've learned through them, so I can help others. So this is coming from my own experience, where I always thought that I'm that victim. There's nothing more to it than that, because that is who I am. That is who I thought I was meant to be. But then I find out, no, you can change your life situation. You can change anything that you want, because it's your mind that gives you the capacity and the capability to do that. It's what you want to be at a genuine place in your heart. Like, it's your heart that has to genuinely want this, and you attract that to yourself. But to get there, you really have to break down these negative doubts, because let's say you want a car, and then your negative self and all this trauma comes and says, can you really do it? Can you really have it? Oh, this happened, you never made it. So many things that comes to block you from having that thing. So it's the most important thing is to process these emotions so you can release it. And before you can go through this, replay these incidences from the first person's perspective, it's always better to go from a third person. So you're viewing down at the incident, and you can think of it like, why did this happen? Why did this person do this to me? Or this person came from that abused childhood, which is why they're projecting their fears and their emotions, their anger at me. And how did I feel as a child? This child felt scared, vulnerable, and very much shocked that it basically took the foundation right under their feet. It's like pulling a rug. That saying, like, you pull the rug right out from under your feet and you fall down. It's that type of feeling for that child, because the child is devastated and they don't know what to do, and they blame themselves. So if you really understand that from those two perspectives, and then go into your own body as a child to process more when you're comfortable, that will help you release little by little. It takes days sometimes, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. It takes a while, but when you do this little by little, you are releasing all these things. You're fixing these things. You're letting go of this energy, so that new energy, new light can come into you. So it might hurt, but bear through it, because when you go through that and you release that anger, first you have to really feel the anger, the devastation, to release it. Because if you suppress it, you're just keeping it, you're just pushing it further down. You're not emptying. It's like trash can. You have to empty the trash can for your heart to be open to new relationships, new kind of people, to a new perspective in life, new ideas. You have to be open to it. To be open, you have to empty out the past, clear the old patterns, ways of thinking. So it's very important to process, and process from an objective point of view. That is what I wanted to share with you guys today, because that is the hot topic of my life these days. So I hope you learned something from it. My website is adiyogiayurveda.com, and I'll put the link down below. This is Madhu from Adiyogi Ayurveda. Thank you.